Welcome, y'all, to YouTube time and a cup of tea time with Madison and Christine. Today, you guys, the title of this YouTube is A Call to Excellence. A Call to Excellence. This has been rolling around in me for the last, 24 hours as I've been really thinking about the mediocrity in this world that we see in the majority. And this sort of like humdrum, kind of shuffling around Walmart kind of energy, kind of metaphorical, that's what I'm talking about. This sort of like unconscious trance, this acceptance of this sort of mediocre, half-baked kind of life where you're in a relationship, say, for example, and you're like, yeah, it's working. Yeah, but however, there may be fantasy on the side, addiction on the side, or not just on the side. But I mean, there is this sort of, if there was a tone to it, kind of existence, right? That would be more the unconscious world. What is a call to excellence? So what was coming to me is how much, I'll speak for myself. I myself have allowed my light to be dimmed in this life. And a lot of us, you guys, it comes from abuse in childhood. It comes from being just in this world and having a lot of wacko role models, right? There's this, there's a lot of compassion here when I speak. I'm not sitting here judging mediocrity. I'm just saying, as I rise and as I grow and as I wake up, I go, hell no. It's such a gift to have this life and to work it out and to be here and to grow and to become aware. And I want to speak to that. And I want to speak to excellence as I myself am in process in that world, right? Because it hit me so hard, you guys, how sad it is that there's so much acceptance of mediocrity. There's so much acceptance of toxic connections and relationships. It's kind of like, let's say you're someone who's working something out and you really want a higher level of consciousness, let's say in a relationship, and you have a lot of people around you be like, oh, it's just normal to have highs and lows and, to be treated like shit. And you guys, it's not. That's abuse. It's not normal. It shouldn't be normal. It shouldn't be normal for us to hurt ourselves, right? And if we are, awareness is a call to excellence. A call to excellence is becoming aware of these things. That's what I like to do my YouTubes on. You guys, it is so sad when we dim our lights and we become smaller and we forget how sacred our space is. And I'm telling you this because I've been that person for so long. And I was really thinking about the feminine too. It's historical, it's cultural, it's religious. There's so much we're all waking up out of, those of us that are really wanting to seek our power in a healthy way and to really experience what love and sensuality and sexuality is all about. If we look out into the masses in the world, we're not getting the example that is healthy. And it could be quite criminal what goes on and what we witness, right? So in speaking to excellence, it's really saying, let's stop letting our wings be clipped, our light be dimmed. Let's call on the highest in our sacred territory. Who gets to come into our home? Who gets to have sacred connection? Who is your lover? And what is that going to be like and feel like? I'm not talking about perfection. We all fuck up, right? We're all human. That's different. But what are we doing with it when we do fuck up? How are we resolving this? And how quickly are we resolving it? And be so careful with the gaslighters in your life. You guys, there are so many therapists, people in psychology, spirituality, everywhere, okay? That are not truly experienced in life, that don't fully understand abuse, that will say to you, let's say you're someone in a relationship that is having a really hard time, but you keep having friends or family just be like, oh, that's just normal, just forgive, move on. You guys, that can become dangerous, and it can become the most unsupportive thing we can do. You know, someone can go to bed at night and they're more depressed and they're like, what's wrong with me? Let's take each other seriously when someone says we're not feeling okay, or that we feel like there's abuse. And people are saying those things that are so gaslighting. Well, you know, it's just human. Everyone makes mistakes. Or, you know, just you're married and it's a religious thing and you just got to stick it out. Because these things are treacherous to say, honestly. Suicides come out of these moments, okay? Let's take our light seriously. Imagine what it'd be like to really be flourishing in yourself and in relationship, where there's consistency, where there's this quick resolve. What would it be like to have your highest always regarded, and friends and relationships where it's celebrated, every single success is celebrated? Look for in your life, if you're someone looking for excellence, look for where you're feeling compromised. Look for where you're feeling unheard. Look for where there's this passive aggressiveness and walking on eggshells, to sort that stuff out. It's so important, you guys, to understand these things and have validation. It's so huge what we let in and what we need to let out. This is such a call to cutting things that are hurting you, that are dimming your light. Okay? It's serious. This is a serious matter. And the more we enable it, the more we have a world full of, toning and just people walking around acting like it's all okay. But then you're like, why are there so many addictions? Why are these being accepted? Why are we not addressing this? Why is there so much shadow that's becoming violent, right? So I just want to say cheers and a call to excellence, to letting our light shine so bright. The more I tell you what, the more we shine our light, the more you find out who's on your wagon and who needs to get the hell off. And the people that want excellence are going to be going, whoa, whoever you are and whatever you're doing, it's working and I want to know more about it and I want to become that. Let's surround ourselves with people of greatness. That's how we become great. I know for me, there's a therapist. It was her eyes. It was the love in those eyes. It was her knowing pain. It was that moment that I changed my life. And I'll never be the same. We can do that for each other, you guys. But only when we rise in ourselves. And we don't. And we face where our reins have been clipped and we freaking get those babies back. No matter how hard it may seem and be, we can do that. I'm speaking from experience of not knowing how I was going to get through the next moment. Okay, this isn't some freaking motivational, moment. This is inspired and deep, coming from the dark into the light, so to speak. So cheers, you guys, to really taking yourself seriously in a way that's sacred. And who you let in and what you let in. Is that honoring you? Is that honoring your soul and your heart? This is a call to excellence where we feel our dignity and respect. And in that, you guys, the most fun is to be had. The most sensual of experiences. The most sexual and awesome and juicy of experiences. So cheers to growth. Cheers to excellence. It's MadisonChristine.net. If you're interested in one-on-ones, please hit subscribe if this supports you, and I'll meet you all on the flip.